What was once to be, soon shall be no more. Yes, I'm talking about the apartment. So recently, you guys have been watching me babble about random things on all my videos, and from over there, you guys have been seeing just completely things that were on my mind, and more IRL-ish kind of videos, whatever you want to call it, more storytelling and stuff like that. But as time goes by, it's become official that next month, actually, in May, we actually will be out of here, and this apartment will be no more. 4 years. I believe it was actually 4 years that I've been in this apartment. And yeah, it served me well, but things came up suddenly. I mean, like, really suddenly. And turns out, yeah, next month I'm actually moving. So that means, oh god, I gotta move everything. The piano. Oh god, okay. So allow me to explain exactly what is happening. And the first thing is age of the unit. Everything's just getting old in here. It's time to move on. As you can tell, kitchen, everything here, to the family room, to the flooring, the tatami, all the walls here, all these panels and everything like that. Everything is original in this unit from like 47 years ago, I think is how old this building is. And nothing in this unit has ever been renovated, ever, except for the toilet room and the sink. That's literally it. Nothing else has been done in this entire unit. So it's time to get out of here. And I already do know my new location, where I'm going. And that whole unit is completely renovated. Everything from the kitchen to the family room to the floors to the wallpaper, ceiling, everything like that, completely renovated. So it'll be a huge step forward, going from all of this, everything being original, to going to more something incredibly modern. And I think that'll be really good. And there's one big thing that'll definitely affect this channel, affect my live streams, all that kind of stuff, that I'm planning to do in the future place that we move into. And I'll show you guys exactly what it is. So you guys are familiar with the bedroom. So of course you guys are typically watching me while I'm doing my live streams or filming videos for you guys and stuff like that. But you guys, I suppose, are kind of on this angle, right? But that's going to change, because in the new place, I'll actually be able to separate my work setup, PC setup, and the bed, all that kind of stuff. Everything will be completely in two separate rooms, which will be awesome. Which means we're building a studio for the whole setup here. Yeah, that's right. I'm actually planning to build a whole studio. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of soundproof flooring. I might actually soundproof the walls a little bit with like the acoustic foam that people like to use and stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna get a new desk set up, one that I can raise and lower. And then we're actually gonna use this camera that we're using right now as the webcam for live streams. I'm gonna set all that up. Everything's gonna be perfect. We'll have a lot more space in here, because I don't know if you can tell or not. There's not much space between the bed and the desk, so when I pull the chair out, yeah, I can't move that much farther back. So it's kind of hard for me to get in and out of this area. So it'll be nice to have more space, two separate rooms, and actually organize things so much better, have a studio set up. And I'll kind of give you guys an idea as to how exactly I'm going to do it and what it's going to look like. So let me take you guys to the spare room in this room, to give you guys kind of a comparison, I guess. If we go to the spare room over here, oh god. Oh my god. That, yeah, is basically what happened. Enough said, right? All the cotton, everything's here. Nothing's been gotten rid of. I just took out all the cotton and put some of it in the closet, and the rest of it kind of just sits out here. But this, it might come back, actually, believe it or not. Might make a comeback at some point. 250 centimeters. We'll see. So to give you guys kind of an idea of what's happening, I'm going to use this room as an example, because the future room that I have that I'm going to turn into a studio is roughly the same size as this room. So this will be a good example, and there's way less stuff in here too, so you guys will be able to get an idea of what I'm talking about. And that is turning it into a studio, which is what I'm going to do. And I've got ideas of what I want to do, and I can easily make all of this happen. And the first thing is to get some acoustic tile carpet, I guess you call it, like tile carpets or whatever, carpet tiles or whatever you want to call it. And you get a whole bunch of that, and I fill the entire room, the entire floor. And then I'm going to do what a lot of people do, and I'm going to put a little bit of soundproofing, acoustic foam that people like to do. Some of that plastered all over the walls. And then the whole setup with the new desk that I'm planning on getting, one that you can raise and lower. I'm going to put it up against the window like that. And then we'll have basically everything behind here will be like open space. It's kind of like that. That's what I'm planning to do. And then because there's enough space, we'll see what'll happen. Yeah, we'll have to wait on that and see what we're gonna do. Might have to restuff this thing, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But you get an idea of where we're going and how we're gonna set all this up, and I'm really excited for this. So, whole new studio setup. The reason to why you guys might be wondering as to why I didn't do that in here. You can tell it's just like a storage room right now. There's nothing in here. So you're probably thinking, why didn't I utilize this room as like a studio while I was living here for 3 to 4 years? And the only reason, well, I shouldn't say the only reason, but the main reason, pretty much the sole reason, was because of the window itself, actually. So this window is like not even a window, actually. It's like, you know, like in old like samurai houses, you watch like Japanese movies or like old anime and stuff like that. You have like those houses with the paper doors. That's exactly what this is. It has paper windows. I'm dead serious. There is like an actual window behind it, but it's like so thin and so old that I can actually hear everything outside, and people vice versa can hear everything inside. So it's not good for insulation when it comes to anything like soundproofing or weather when it comes to the cold or the heat or whatever. Speaking of heat, I don't know if you can tell or not, there's no air conditioner in here, so that probably gives you another idea as to why I never use this room. In the summertime, you'd completely die in here because you can't actually have an air conditioner in here because this window actually faces towards the front of the unit, and right outside this window is like the walkway for people to get to their units and stuff like that. So you can't actually put an air conditioner here. There's just nowhere to put like the fan and everything like that. So yeah, there's nothing here. If I wanted to, I would have had to get one of those portable air conditioners, I guess you call it, / heater. But yeah, it just never happened. So, you know, it kind of just remained as a storage closet. But in the future place, like I told you guys, the whole unit is completely renovated. And that includes the window. The window was completely redone, sound insulated, better for keeping in like temperatures that you want, so like heat or cold or whatever. The only thing is, that new place that I'm moving into also doesn't have an air conditioner in its spare room as well. So I'm going to have to get one of those portable air conditioners, whatever they're called. I forget what brand they are. And hopefully that'll work enough. And yeah, it'll turn into a pretty good studio. So I think you guys get an idea of what I'm going to do. And then all the stuff we currently have in the current studio, I guess, will get plastered on the wall, and I'll get some other things as well. Put some acoustic tile foams all over the place and stuff like that. That's pretty much the plan of what's going to happen. So hopefully we can do exactly that, and I think we can easily do it. Shouldn't cost too much to get everything that I need, and the process of doing everything should be really straightforward, so I think we'll be good to go. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. And it all starts with more modern stuff and more going the direction that I've always wanted to go for you guys, and that is to create a studio setup that we'll actually be able to do. Finally be able to separate the bedroom and the computer setup, all that kind of stuff in 2 separate rooms, which will be so great. It'll save so much space, and I'll actually be able to do exactly what I wanted to do in the studio setup as well. So soon, it'll be time to get out of here. Actually, this specific unit that I'm living in, my family has actually owned for, I believe, 47 years, however old this building is. I don't know off the top of my head, but I believe it's like 47 years, somewhere around there. And yeah, this building, if you haven't heard, I think I've mentioned in the past, maybe in my previous apartment tour video that I posted like 2 or 3 years ago on this channel. You guys can find it if you haven't seen that video. I highly suggest you watch it because I go through everything thoroughly. And even back then, things were pretty much as they are right now too. So Go watch that if you haven't seen it, because I explained everything. But yeah, 47 years. My family's owned this specific unit that I'm living in. And next month, it'll be no more. So it's kind of like nostalgia leaving my soul, I guess you call it. But it's definitely time for a change. And yeah, I mean, as you can tell, as I showed everything's really old in here. And everything's original. It's just, it's time for a change. That's what it is. How am I gonna organize everything that needs to go? Man, the hardest part is definitely getting rid of the piano. So that's my grandmother's piano. She's had it for like, I don't know how many years she's had it for. I think that thing's probably older than I am. But yeah, getting that thing in here was a process and a half. I don't remember. I was like 2 years old or however old I was when that happened. That thing's been sitting there for so many years. But now it's gonna be time to get rid of it. So once I move out of here, all the things that used to belong to my grandmother, because a lot of her stuff is in here, all that's gonna be gone. And then just, you know, doing all the typical things, moving the fridge, all that kind of stuff, my dining table, you know, all that stuff. The manga collection, which I don't know if you guys have seen the updated version. I know I posted 2 or 3 videos of the manga collection. It has changed very slightly. I don't know if I posted the most updated version, which is what it is right now. But there you go. So all that's going to have to be moved out. And then the computer setup, which I'm so excited for. This. Gonna swap out this desk because it's really small and super, super thin. So I'm going to swap it for a slightly bigger desk because I believe this is 100 centimeters wide, which is tiny for 2 screens, and having the PC itself off to the side. So yeah, I'm going to get a slightly wider desk, one that you can raise and lower, one of those electric ones. Definitely going to do that in the new studio setup. And then, yeah, all of this up here is going to go in the studio setup in the background for you guys. So you guys will still see all this stuff. But I am planning at some point to get some more things because I feel like you guys seeing this constantly in the background of my streams and my videos and stuff like that, I feel like a minimalist just because like there's like nothing here. That's literally it. And the combination of retro video gaming and professional ice hockey is like the most unusual combination of all time. So something's definitely got to be done about that. So we'll see. Once I'm in the new place, I'll figure out how much space I have and what's happening and everything. And hopefully I'll be able to get something more for you guys. Because, yeah, this is kind of whack if you ask me. But there it is, as what you guys can see. Because I know a lot of you guys are always curious as to what my setup and everything looks like. Because all you guys ever see is this angle, basically. So there you go. That's basically it. And I know some of you have actually been commenting on this poster, actually, and saying that it's really hilarious and really cool, actually. So there you go, in depth for you guys so you can see better. Definitely want to get something else just like that. I'm still thinking about it, but once again, once I'm in the new place, I'll figure out how much space I actually have and what we can actually do. But I would love to get something a little more because this just doesn't cut it. So we're gonna have to change that for sure. So family room, kitchen, spare room, bathroom, my room, all that's gonna go. All this stuff. All the kitchen stuff, everything. Oh god, it's gonna be crazy to organize all this. Especially everything that's in my closet over here. Will be nuts. But for the time being, let's eat some snacks. If you come to Japan, seriously, eat this. Super good. Ediyaru. Really good, actually. It's like, I know of a snack called Bugles. I think it only exists in the US. If you're American, you probably know what I'm talking about. This tastes exactly like that. But these are the cheese flavored version ones. If you get like the original ones, the salted ones, they taste exactly like Bugles. So definitely try those because they're super good. Otherwise you go for like Ibisen, which is like the most common snack here. Like shrimp crackers and stuff like that. But super, super good. We'll be able to enjoy those so much more because I'm not actually moving that far away. For those of you that thought maybe I was moving far away or maybe I was moving to like Tokyo or something. No, I'm staying in the city. I'm not moving far at all. So it won't be too bad. Nothing in terms of location, stuff like that. It's going to change, or my daily life or whatever. It's just the place that I'm living in is going to change and be a lot more modern than this that you see here. But enough about that. Let's switch the conversation, talk about this plant over here and why it's dying so suddenly. I swear to God, I'm watering it. Look, I can prove it. Look, the soil's wet, okay? I'm definitely watering it. I don't understand why it's dying. Maybe it's because it's not getting enough sunlight outside. Or maybe because it's indoors and it should actually be outside, but not till recently. It hasn't been warm until recently, so definitely was not a good idea to put it outside. But this thing... Why are you dying? Why are you dying? I don't think you're dying, actually. You're just not happy. That's all it is. I don't know. That's honestly about it. I mean, not much to show you guys. If you want to see the whole apartment, like I told you guys earlier, just go watch the apartment tour video that I took like 2 years ago. It looks pretty much the same as it does now. Some things have changed, but overall, it's pretty much the same thing. So, not really much else to tell you guys. Aside from me continuing doing what I'm doing for you guys, doing some live streams on my Twitch channel, which you guys can follow, and filming YouTube videos like I am currently right now, and watching travel videos. Speaking of travel videos, there's one thing that I guess I'll explain to you guys that I kind of had a plan to do, or I kind of went back onto the plan, and I'll explain to you guys on my computer, because it'd be easier to do that if I can do it from my computer. So let's switch to the computer setup, and I'll explain to you guys everything that I have ideas for with 2 of my friends that we might actually do in the near future, hopefully in the near future. So let's switch to the computer setup now and talk about that. Okay, so we're at the computer, and I pulled out 2 maps here. The one on the left is a map of Japan in Japanese, and I did a bit of editing to it. And then the map on the right is the same thing, but in English, unedited, just so you guys can be able to read and understand everything. Sorry, it might be kind of small for you guys to read, but that's the best I can do. So I wanted to explain the Nagasaki road trip that I had planned, and that I still do have planned, actually, with 2 of my friends, actually, and possibly 2 more people, at least 1 more person to have a total of 4 of us, preferably 5 of us, is the plan that we want to go with, just because financially, if there's 5 people, splitting money costs for everything, when it comes to freeway toll money, gas money, accommodation, food, all that kind of stuff, it would just make more sense if there's 5 of us. But on top of that, I think a road trip would be a lot more fun if there's 5 of us rather than 4 of us. But having more than 5 people would just be too many people. So 5 I feel like is the perfect number. And then if we really can't find 2 other people, then 4 people maybe. But anyways, so the Nagasaki road trip, I explained it on my Q&A video, I think it was, that I posted. I briefly went through it, but this time I'll explain it to you a little more detailed. And that is about... I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly, actually. So with a friend of mine, we planned to do a road trip from either starting point would have been here in Shizuoka, where I'm living, Shizuoka Prefecture, or the starting point would have been maybe Tokyo area. One of the 2 most likely. And the idea was, as you can see right here where my cursor is, we were going to drive all the way to the westernmost point of mainland Japan, which is Nagasaki. I believe the trip would have been, or would be, at least a 16 or 17-hour drive if we're driving constantly without stopping. But of course, Japan is so beautiful and so many things to see, especially if we're driving west. So we would definitely stop along the way to all the major destinations, all the things that we're interested in. Which would be to stop along the way in Osaka, which I believe is right here where my cursor is. I don't know if you guys can see that well enough. And then we would stop in Kobe, we would stop in Kyoto, we would stop in Hiroshima, then we'd stop in Fukuoka, and then we'd make our way to Nagasaki area, and all the other shrines and stuff like that are in the area. So all these blue dots that you see here, like these light blue dots, are all the checkpoints, I guess you call it, where we would stop either to have lunch or stay overnight maybe, because I don't think we would do the drive all in one day, because obviously we'd want to stop and see things along the way. So quite a few checkpoints that we had planned. So the purple line is the direction towards Nagasaki and the path that we would take and all the places that we would stop at. And then on the way back, my idea was to, instead of going on the same route as going to Nagasaki, on the way back we would drive on the western part of Japan. It's like the northern side, so where this the dark blue line is here, and then we would drive towards Kanazawa, which I believe is where this blue dot is right here, and probably stay there overnight or just, you know, maybe for the day or whatever, but maybe stop at some other places as well. And just because the scenery would be different and we get to see more of Japan if we did that rather than drive on the same route on the way back. So I guess the whole round trip driving wise would take over 24 hours, maybe about 30 hours or so, which isn't bad, honestly, considering that we'd cover basically half of Japan when it comes to mainland, that is. And yeah, so basically the idea came up, yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was. But it kind of like died, I guess you call it, the idea, just because financially we'd have to do a lot of planning. And then when it comes to deciding who's going to be on the trip, which I specifically want at least 5 people, or I shouldn't say at least, I want specifically 5 people because I think that's the perfect number to have. Then we'd have to discuss financially how we're going to do everything, where we're going to go, where we're going to stay overnight, if we're going to stay overnight in certain places, all the attractions that we might go to and stuff like that, and then discuss how long this trip would be. I believe this trip could be done in about 5 or 6 days, maybe less than that, maybe even 4 or 5 days. It's possible, but if we want to have the time to do everything we want to do rather than rush through everything, I think about 5 or 6 days might be the best option. So it's basically just the idea kind of fell off because financially it would be quite a bit of money to do this trip, just because freeway tolls cost so much money in Japan. Gas money, because we'd have 2 cars is what I want. So if you're not following me on my second YouTube channel, then you will not know that I do drive a Toyota 86, Toyota Hachiroku, whatever you want to call it, which is a sports car. So it's basically only suitable for 2 people to sit in comfortably. My car can't seat 4 people, but considering that we'd be driving at least 15 to 16 hours one way, it would definitely not be comfortable for people to sit in the back seats. So definitely want a second car to be on the trip, so have a second driver. For that reason, which is one of the reasons, the second reason would be I would want to rent something like a big van or like a Toyota Hiace or something like that, just so we can carry more luggage, but also in case if something happens to one of the cars, at least we have like a second car that we could all, you know, work with and stuff like that. If something goes wrong or whatever, I think it would be a little bit safer. But on top of that, I think it would just be more fun if there's 2 people driving 2 cars rather than all of us squished in one car with all of our luggage and everything like that. It wouldn't work in my car. It would be hectic if we tried doing that. So my car would be one of them, and then if one of the other 4 people that's on the trip don't have a car of their own, then the idea is that we would rent a car. So, like I mentioned, a Toyota Hiace would be the best option, so we can carry as much luggage as possible and do all that kind of stuff. So then we'd have 2 drivers, and then we'd go all the way to Nagasaki. And that trip, yeah, I really think we could possibly do it in about 5 or 6 days. Maybe it would be comfortable. But yeah, all that kind of planning, all that kind of stuff. I'm still totally for this trip, but right now we have a Discord group with the 3 of us that are on the idea for this trip. And we definitely want to find at least 1 more person, preferably 2 more people. And then we'd invite them into the Discord group chat that we have about this road trip. And then everybody would be able to discuss all their ideas and plans and all the things that we could do, and figure out financially, estimate how much it would cost for us to do this trip, and see maybe if we could do something beneficial for the trip. One thing that I want to do on the trip is definitely I would film the whole entire trip with my camera that I have. I would definitely film the entire trip and either post it on this channel or post it on my second YouTube channel. One of the two, most likely my second YouTube channel. I would definitely do that. Or if there was one way we could maybe find like a sponsor or some company that could help us get this trip really going, because just doing it on our own will is just a little bit difficult, especially for a trip this big. So if there was any way we could find maybe a sponsor or a company to help us, to give us ideas or to help us move forward with this idea, which would be one great thing that we could do. Otherwise, just, doing it on our own can be kind of tricky, but at the same time, I'm super motivated for this trip, and I really, really do hope that in the near future we can actually make that trip happen, and hope that maybe someday we can have it uploaded on one of the YouTube channels, or if somehow we could get a portable Wi-Fi, somehow to have portable Wi-Fi connection, then I would definitely do live streams for you guys on my Twitch channel of this entire trip, which I think would be one of the greatest things ever. But yeah, that's basically the idea of the whole road trip to Nagasaki thing that happened about 4 or 5 years ago. And now recently I'm really trying to get back into this and really motivate everyone that's willing to be on this trip to see if we can actually make this happen one day. I think we can. I'm like really confident that we can actually make this trip happen one day. But the first big step is to find at least 1 or 2 more people to join us on this trip and actually be committed to join this trip and give ideas and help us work towards figuring out the car situation, whether somebody else will have another car that we could use or whether we'd have to rent a car, and then financially figure out how we can all split it between 4 to 5 people and see where we could go from there. Nagasaki, I've never been more west than Osaka ever in my life. That's the farthest west I've ever been in Japan in my life. So if we were to drive past Osaka and go all the way to Nagasaki, that would be a huge check mark on my bucket list, because I haven't really traveled across Japan very much. I've only been to Tokyo, obviously, Shizuoka, obviously, Osaka, and then I've been to Kanazawa once, but that's about it. I've never been anywhere else in Japan, so this road trip would knock out so many new prefectures on my list. And I swear we can make this happen. One day we can make this happen. We could go all the way from Shizuoka, right here, drive west into Aichi Prefecture, where Nagoya is, which is the next big city west of Shizuoka, and maybe stop there for lunch or dinner or whatever time it might be at that time. Then we keep driving west, and then we go to Osaka area, maybe Kyoto area, stop there either for the day or maybe overnight, depending on how much time we have on the trip. And then we keep driving west, go up to Kobe area, maybe stay there, have lunch there or something like that, and then drive to Hiroshima. And my idea was Hiroshima's roughly the halfway point to Nagasaki, roughly. So I was thinking maybe we'd stay in Hiroshima overnight, and then the next day we'd continue all the way to Nagasaki and then Kumamoto area, stuff like that, and see some of the shrines there. One of the shrines that I really wanted to see, which has the smallest real torii in Japan, and that's one place I'd really want to go to, so we definitely stop there for sure. And stop in Nagasaki, and then stay there maybe overnight, 2 nights maybe, and then on the way back drive on the northwestern side of Japan and go all the way to Kanazawa, which is up here actually, somewhere up here. Kanazawa, which is up here. And then we drive south back towards Shizuoka area or Tokyo area, wherever our end point is. And that's it. That's basically the idea of the trip. But if other people have ideas, the other people that are on the trip have ideas of places that they want to go to, then we definitely add it to this list and everything like that. But this is just like the beginning process of the trip idea. But I really, really, really want to make this happen. Hopefully before I'm too old. So I'm sure we can do it. Just having the motivation to motivate the other people that are on this trip is the first biggest step. And then the second biggest step is finding at least 1 or 2 more people to join this trip and be committed to it as well. That's about it. That's basically what the Nagasaki road trip is and will happen one day. I can guarantee it. Well, that's about it, honestly. Once the time comes, I'll definitely show you guys an updated video, I guess, or tour of the future studio space that we're going to have in the new apartment, and talk more about the road trip that's going to happen, because I want to keep the subject going as much as possible, because the more I talk about it, I feel like the more chance that it'll actually happen, and happen sooner than later. So the more I can post videos for you guys on updates about what's happening, and not just with the road trip, but like with the apartment and all that kind of stuff, everything else that's happening in my life, the more motivated I will be to continue doing things for myself and for you guys as well, but also just to keep up to date with everything, you know? It's going to be a new future, I guess you call it. Things are going to change, and it all starts next month with the new apartment that's coming in. I'm super excited for that. New studio setup. Definitely going to show you guys a tour of that once I have everything set up, and once I put some financial money into the things that I need for that studio. And I'll definitely show you guys for sure, without a doubt, and go through everything. And it'll be super great, super better for me, better for you guys as well, hopefully. And it'll be a step upwards in the right direction, and we'll be able to do even more things and post more videos for you guys for both YouTube channels, and do some more live streaming on the Twitch channel, which I know we'll be able to do a lot more once the new studio is set up. But I think that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, just a bit of an update video for you guys. We'll see what happens from now on. Definitely next month there'll be a lot of content coming for you guys, and hopefully I can keep you guys updated on everything that's happening, and we'll move forward from here. So that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Johnny!